Hello and welcome everyone to MadisonLA.tv. Today we have a very special guest who we welcome into the Executive Lounge, the CEO of DEPT, Dimi Albers. Could you talk to us a little bit about your leadership style and how you were able to manage this increasingly growing organization that not only had the global organization itself or international at the time, but also acquiring companies, which is also difficult to integrate in a remote setting?
Our culture is very much predicated on an organization that is as flat as possible in the setting that you are in. It is all very informal, and it is very much based on constant sort of change within the organization, because we believe that both for our people and our clients, that's the best. I believe that running a company like this, especially in tougher times, is about doing a lot of small things right and making sure that you don't do big things wrong.
Could you talk about the culture of DEPT and why it's been so foundational and how you've been nurturing that?
That idea of the global scale, but still with the boutique culture, that has been since the beginning so important for us, because it is also a bit of a belief, right? That things that get to a certain size don't have to transform into a place where you have to be instead of where you want to be. This should be a place where if you are here, you will do some of the best work you ever did in your career, and that you build relationships with people that you will still have 20, 30, 40 years from now. And I think that very simple combination of do the best work you can, have enormous fun while you do it, and building relationships that last, that is the essence of our culture. So we feel very confident that with the ownership model that we have, the way we nurture the culture, that we will be able to retain it as we grow.
So how is it that you can kind of institute culture or have it really embedded in the business at that scale?
I think the importance is that any team that joins DEPT needs to have sort of this culture. It needs to have the desire to retain that culture, because we sometimes say culture is like a good party. It's all about who you let into the party, right? And then around that, we have sort of our way of connecting everyone together. The first and most simple day-to-day one is Slack. Slack is where we all live. We have a monthly Ask Me Anything, where we give an update on the business, where people can ask me anything they want, inspirational speakers, share the work. And then once a year, we bring everyone together for a weekend of kind of networking, getting to know each other more, hackathons, inspiration, and of course, one or two parties with maybe one or two drinks.
What is your approach to, considering acquiring or bringing in new agencies and consultancies into the fold?
It is all about, when we sit down with the founders, the leadership team, and ultimately the rest of the team, are we feeling culturally aligned, and do we have a lot of fun together? So it's an actual KPI for us that if we sit together in a room for 1 or 2 hours together, if we are not laughing very loudly and people who walk by are not sort of turning their heads, then we know this is not a deal for us. After that prerequisite, it of course is about which strategic value from either a capability or a geography perspective, or both, are you bringing to the table. And of course, as you can imagine, we have a long-term strategy, which then translates to a strategy for this year, which then translates to certain topics, both from a capability and a geography perspective.